report that I read was never mentioned. It's the lack of leadership at the city council, the mayor's office, and the administration of the police department. Now you look at other departments across the state, and I'm disappointed that they're using a broad brush that all law enforcement is like this. It's not. You have Minneapolis on one side of the river that has all sorts of problems. And the report shows it goes the leadership right to the top, the city council and the mayor and the administration going back decades. You come to this side of the river, guess what? We don't hear problems. The mayor and the city council have been doing their jobs. The police chief and his administration have been doing their jobs. What's going on in Minneapolis? Lack of leadership. We've talked about it many times. We talked about accountability of the officers. Absolutely, I want those that do things improperly held accountable. Notice in pages in the report where at one time it was 500 days between discipline from the time of the incident, over 500 days. Minneapolis has a civilian review board that never met to deal with the issues. When there's a problem, it needs to be dealt with immediately, as soon as possible, before minor issues become large issues. Again, the city of Minneapolis failed their department and their citizens. It's not the rest of the state, it's the city of Minneapolis where the problem is. With the mayor, the city council, going back decades. Now, other departments, again, we don't really hear of many issues, except in one city, which I brought up many times already, and I get chastised by some members of this committee because I bring it up. That's where the problem is. You have to take a look at it where it's at. We had over 10,000 licensed officers in this state, and we're way short right now. Because of the attacks on all law enforcement and not where the problem is. The city council and the mayor and the police administration of the Minneapolis Police Department. A couple of years ago, I met in one of the precincts with administration of the police department. I had a pastor that's been wanting to work and help, get involved. He's been working the streets, talking to the youth, working with the youth to keep them out of trouble. He was told, we'll notify you right away the next meeting. That was 3 years ago. He's still waiting for that email and that phone call. And he's still working with those youth and helping all he can. And his church was right in the riot area. Again, Minneapolis administration, city council, and the mayor failed the citizens of Minnesota. And because of that, they're causing issues all across this state. I'm also reading through the report dealing with the decree. It needs to be an independent to go in there. But you read the report, we're hearing that the Department of Human Rights and the failed leadership of the city council and the mayor is going to pick the people to do that. It needs to be independent. That's what I wanted to talk to the commissioner about and ask the question, but they had to leave. I don't want to get into the facts of the investigation because that's improper. But doing that with that decree, if it's not independently appointed, it's doomed to failure. I'm gonna let it stop here because this investigation is continuing. It's not done. I have concerns that some of the things spoken today might cause some issues, and I don't want to be part of that. But we need to look at where the problem started. The failed leadership of the mayor, the city council, and the Minneapolis Police Department administration for decades.
Thank you, Representative Johnson. We are here to listen to one another and share our thoughts with one another, and I think that's a good spirit for us to continue in. Representative Long.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have two questions because I know we're getting late. I just first wanted to thank Commissioner Lucero and the Department of Human Rights for their excellent work. I know a number of my Minneapolis colleagues are in attendance tonight.